After the announcement of God's playgrounds, the entire world was in a buzz. The main topics of discussions were about God's playgrounds, leaked information, or what kind of talent that people want to have. This story begins at Villarreal University. It was a top university of the United Nations of the Americas, also known as the UN, with each of the students being geniuses, or rich and experts of a certain field. In one day of classroom, it was filled to the brim with students, each one talking nothing about the international VR God's playgrounds. "Hey, Sarah, have you purchased the pod yet? What do you think? I ordered it the moment they were available for purchase," the female student responded. "I heard that they are going to activate the game an hour after school ends," a boy student said with excitement in his voice. "When I make my character, I'm definitely going to get the legendary calamity level talents," a fat boy student said with pride. "Yeah, right. With your luck, you would be lucky to get a C-grade talent," the previous boy student said as he shot down the other student. This very scene was being reproduced in the other classroom. The reason for this is this was second biggest announcement to be played globally since the end of the Third World War. God's Playgrounds was advertised to be humanity's second home. A place where the only limiting factor being your imagination. Another reason for being this popular, even though it hadn't even been launched, was special technology said to be used to create it. While this was going on, a young man was alone in his own little world. At the back corner of Class A-5 was a student, unlike the other students who were excitingly discussing the game. He was all alone, with his head down on his table. One of the female students noticed him and began to walk towards him. One by one, the students stopped talking and noticed her walking toward the boy. "It seems class monitor Jessica is going to talk to William again today." Whispers filled the room as Jessica grew closer to William. "Do you think he's going to score above the class president again for yesterday's test?" "Probably. He gets 100% each time." "So you think she is going to invite him to party with her in the game?" Once near the boy, Jessica lightly tapped on his shoulder and said, "William, are you awake?" The sleeping boy in response shrugged his shoulder and lifted his head. His deep black eyes reflected Jessica's appearance. "Hey, yeah, I'm awake. It's kinda hard to take a nap with everyone talking. I hope that she doesn't ask me to play with her." As this thought appeared in William's head, he stopped himself for saying some inappropriate words after seeing the warm smile on her face. Thud thud. Just as William finished talking, a set of footsteps drew closer to the classroom. Not before long, the wooden class doors were pulled open. "Yo, Jessica, do you want to set up a party for God's playgrounds tonight?" Stepping into the classroom was a tall figure. The tall figure was a sixth classroom president, Dean Sky. His handsome face and well-proportioned body showed that he was a winner in life. With his family owning several multi-million businesses, while Dean himself being placed in the top 10 sophomores. Dean himself having a lot more influence in compared to the other top students. Greeting Jessica, who ranked 7th, he took a sweeping look around the packed room. Dean, seeing that Jessica was talking to William, he hesitated before saying, "Sup, William, do you want to meet up with the other monitors and presidents together with Jessica?" Damn it, I didn't want to hear this question the most. William, after hearing Dean, showed some annoyance, opening his mouth to shut down Dean, but before he could say anything, Jessica reacted. Jessica lightly frowned as she heard his words. "Could you please be a bit considerate, Dean?" William, after hearing Jessica's concerned voice, stopped himself from denying Dean, and after a moment of hesitation said words that stunned everyone in the classroom. "Sure, just make sure to have your loot stolen from you," William said before putting his head back down to sleep for the rest of the class. There was utter silence in the class. So quiet that you could hear the faint sounds from the other classes. Jessica especially, who after defending William, was shocked to her core. Nice one, William, you still got after these years. I'll meet with everyone else after school. You should still have a way to contact me. Dean, unlike the other students, was filled with excitement after hearing William's words. After making his statement, Dean turned around to leave the classroom. Stopping the door frame, he said, "Jessica, I almost forgot. You are joining, right?" "Yeah, if William is going to go, I don't see why not." Jessica, hearing Dean, snapped out of her shock and responded to Dean. At Dean's house, more accurately his mansion, Dean was looking at his brand new stasis pods that were created solely to run God's playgrounds. The metallic gray paint that covered the pod with the inside decked out with Elise Comfort technology. This custom-built pod alone cost 10 times the base model, but in addition to the custom pod, the room walls had each generation of stasis pod to ever come out, with the God's Playground stasis pod at the center of it all. Finally, in about 30 minutes, the game should be released. Having heaved a sigh, Dean opened the stasis pod and lay down on the soft memory cushion pads. Closing the pod's door, Dean was able to see his room slowly fading into black as he closed his eyes, awaiting the new virtual world. In the college dormitories, William was looking at an odd black metal ring with blue lines flashing and fading at random times. "You know what, kid? I already made a promise in front of Jessica that I would be there. So I can't chicken out now." William, after strengthening his determination, put the black ring on his finger. Ding. The virtual reality ring is pairing up with God's Playgrounds. Please don't remove the ring, as this will result in restarting the attachment progress. Ding. The VR ring is downloading the game God's Playgrounds. Please stand still. Please find somewhere to lay down safely before the ring finishes the download. William, after hearing the robotic voice that resounded throughout his head, showed no panic or any hints of surprise, as he calmly went over to his bed and lay down, shutting his eyes. Trending on every site and platform was a countdown towards the release of God's Playgrounds. Even though the majority of the public wouldn't be able to play until much after, everyone was still excited by the prospect. Parents with their children watched the news as they covered the basic information released to the public. In less than 5 minutes, God's Playgrounds will be ready and released. We are here to provide you some information on the new and already the most popular game before its release, the calm news anchor said as he zoomed in on the chart on the screen. As you can see, God's Playground's main attraction lies with the special talents that are randomly given to each player. The topmost rank is the Calamity rank, followed by a rank all the way down to D. There is also a unique rank, which doesn't fit into the spectrum. The anchorman continued on until the final 10 seconds, where all screens were replaced with a countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Dean's vision became black while his 5 senses distorted and warped. After what seemed to be a few seconds, the black void turned white, showing the giant words God's Playgrounds.